I assure the House, there is no authority beyond Parliament to scrutinize our actions. We are the ultimate architect of Constitution. There is no authority under the Constitution that can even look at issues that are meant for us. Parliament is the essence of democracy. Parliament is the North Star of democracy. The one sitting in this chair has authority, and that authority is by way of constitutional obligation. It is my bounden duty to ensure order in the House. Neither this side nor this side can afford to engage into any transgression whatsoever. संविधान निर्माताओं की आत्मा और संविधान की मूल भावना पर कुठाराघात करना हमारा आचरण नहीं हो सकता।
Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching Sansad TV's special presentation on the 259th session of Rajya Sabha. The first part of the session came to a close on 13th of February. India's temple of democracy, the cynosure of over a billion people, saw an emphatic reiteration of the significance and supremacy of rules in Parliament. As a true guardian of the prestige and dignity of the House, Chairman Jagdeep Dhankhar ensured that the rule of law enshrined in Indian Constitution was respected and adhered to. In this edition, we have packed all the unmissable moments for you from the first part of the 259th session of the Upper House. So get ready for this speed ride.
A moment of pride for the entire nation, as the first tribal woman president's maiden address to Parliament opened the proceedings of the 259th session of Rajya Sabha. The president's address is one of the most solemn occasions in the parliamentary calendar. It is the only time in the year when the entire Parliament, the members of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, come together. The president's address also serves as a platform for the government to make policy and legislative announcements.
मेरी सरकार को देश के लोगों ने जो पहली बार सेवा का अवसर दिया तो सबका साथ सबका विकास के मंत्र से हमने शुरुआत की थी। समय के साथ इसमें सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास और सबका प्रयास भी जुड़ा गया। यही मंत्र आज विकसित भारत के निर्माण की प्रेरणा बन चुका है।
The address to the joint sitting is an opportunity to reflect on a wide range of political, economic and social matters within the global and domestic context. It also provides to the nation an account of the work of the government while setting out the government's program of action. As per the practice or convention since 2004, the Vice President and Chairman of Rajya Sabha presented the English version of the President's address.
A few months back, our country completed 75 years of independence and entered the Amrit Kal. This Amrit Kal period of 25 years is the period of golden centenary of independence and making of a developed India.
Parliamentary control over public monies is the central point in public financial administration and key to the public accountability system. The Union Budget is an important instrument to promote economic development, reduce inequalities of income, and efficiently allocate resources. After the budget was presented in the Lok Sabha, Its copy was tabled in the upper house of Indian Parliament.
The Union Budget 2023-24, Shrimati Nirmala Sitharaman.
Thank you, sir. I rise to lay on the table a statement of the estimated receipts and expenditure of the government for the year 2023.
As the 259th session progressed, a stalemate emerged between the Treasury and the opposition benches. Chairman Dhankhar repeatedly endeavoured to broker truce between the two sides. He reminded the eminent members that disruption of the House negates the grace, decorum and sublimity of the upper house.
Parliament is the essence of democracy. Parliament is the North Star of democracy. It is a place of discussion and deliberation to realize the aspirations and dreams of the people and not a place of disturbance. We are required to work in accordance with rules. We had at our disposal 17 hours and 30 minutes. We have transacted business only for 35 minutes, 3.3%. It is time for us to reflect. People are watching us.
Very sparingly used in the last 20 years, Rule 267 of Rajya Sabha has often led to disruptions in the past. The rule found a new meaning with Chairman Dhankhar's ruling on December 8, 2022 during the previous session. The chairman assured the members that he will not hesitate to suspend the scheduled business of the House under Rule 267, even on a daily basis if the notices qualify on merit. In the same breath, the chairman asserted that he will not invoke the rule even once during his entire tenure if, on the contrary, the notices are devoid of merit and rules. The chairman also welcomed members for further clarification in his chamber.
On December 8, 2022, and on occasions thereafter, I had firmly indicated the fulfillments of the requirements for invoking the Rule 267. This rule, honorable members, is invocable by indicating any rule sought to be suspended in the applicable to the motion relating to business before the council of that day, and further asserting that this rule shall not apply where a specific provision already exists for suspension of the rule under a particular chapter of the rules.
Days after President Draupadi Murmu spelled out the roadmap of the government, the upper house took up the discussion on the motion of thanks to the President's address on February 7th.
Motion of thanks on the President's address, Dr. K. Lakshman, to move that an address be presented to the President in the following terms: that the members of the Rajya Sabha assembled in this session are deeply grateful to the President for the address which he has been pleased to deliver to both houses of Parliament assembled together on January 31, 2023.
Rules 14 to 21 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Rajya Sabha refer to the discussion on the motion. Under Rule 15, discussion on the matters referred to in the President's address takes place on a motion of thanks moved by a member and seconded by another member. BJP member Dr. K. Lakshman moved the motion, while member Prakash Javadekar seconded it. They welcomed and praised the policies of the day and asserted that the government has paved way for an inclusive and progressive New India.
But it is the people, irrespective of caste, creed, region, religion, language, we are all one, that is Indians. And it has been implemented in letter and spirit by our Modi ji government.
Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankhar expressed deep anguish over the proclaimed boycott by two political parties of the President's address. He condemned the orchestrated campaign and urged all sides to maintain utmost respect for the highest constitutional office in the country. The Aam Aadmi Party and Bharat Rashtra Samiti had boycotted President Draupadi Murmu's address to the joint sitting of both houses of Parliament as a mark of protest against the government.
In our country, that political parties proclaimed boycott. And around the time the Honorable President was addressing, orchestrated campaign was going on. Let us have respect for the highest constitutional office in every sense of the term.
The upper house intensely debated on the motion of thanks to the President's address, with members across political spectrum lending their weight to the debate with riveting speeches.
The Honorable President spoke about India at 100.
States spend on education, health. States are spending 60 to 80%.
मैं गर्व के साथ कह सकता हूं कि उसी का परिणाम है जीरो टॉलरेंस पॉलिसी का। आज इस देश के यूथ और आम व्यक्ति में, इस देश के राजनीतिक नेतृत्व में पैदा नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने विश्वास पैदा करने का काम किया है।
In the midst of the rousing discussions and political sparring, Chairman Dhankhar reminded the leader of opposition that a personage in an elevated constitutional position is expected to raise the level of debate.
There are certain positions on which we have to have great regard. It was in this house, on 8th December I said, when leader of the house will speak, leader of the opposition will speak, and the two former prime ministers will speak, I will look to the rule book later. Why? These positions have august stand. I said so. Similarly, we cannot treat institutions with that kind of observation. You are a very senior member, sir. If anyone in the house, one second, if anyone in the house was to use an expression for LOP, I would come to the rescue of LOP. It's an elevated constitutional position.
False acquisitions, mendacious statements and callous barbs all equally undermine the sanctity and the prestige of the upper house of Indian Parliament. As the custodian and guardian of the rights and privileges of the House and its members, Chairman Dhankhar categorically laid down that any allegation made on the floor of the House will have to be substantiated with authentic documents. He was equally unequivocal in stating that unauthenticated charges will have severe consequences.
While you will be heard with rapt attention, we will hear everyone in the House with decorum and rapt attention. But bear in mind, if you make any assertion which is in the nature of free fall of facts, you shall be called upon to authenticate the documentation and substantiate the same by laying the same on the table of the House.
Thank you.
This House cannot be a platform for free fall of information. One can't add anything one likes. Every allegation will have to be authenticated.
The chairman also repeatedly reminded members that they are not expected to speak to each other directly.
Honorable members, it is with pain that both sides in the House are working in a manner that is not desirable. The members are not required to speak to each other directly. We are violating something which is textbook preposition, meant even for newcomers.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi replied to the motion of thanks to the President's address. The Prime Minister asserted that his government is focused on national progress while being equally mindful to regional aspirations and firm the resolve to make India Viksit Bharat by 2047.
टीचर उसके पास था, मेरे पास गुलाल, जो भी जिसके पास था उसने दिया उछाल। और अच्छाई है जितना कीचड़ उछालोगे कमल उतना ही ज्यादा खिलेगा।
The unrelenting protest by the opposition members during Prime Minister's reply anguished the chairman.
When the Honorable Prime Minister of the country addressed, and his reply was to one of the most important aspects of our Constitution, and that was reply on a motion of thanks for the Honorable President. So it was under extraordinary situation, and after all my pleadings failed.
Chairman Dhankhar examined the proceedings in the light of the rules framed by the House and expunged some parts of the Leader of Opposition's speech.
I examined the proceedings in the light of rules framed by the House, and Rule 261 casts an obligation on me to make such sweeping observations that everything has been removed is not appropriate. I expect the honorable members first to go through what has been expunged. I would urge you again that we are in a house where some decorum has to be maintained.
Presiding officers have the last word in expunging words and expressions. The expunged words do not form part of Parliament record. Chairman Dhankhar also voiced deep concern over the aspersions cast against the chair. He observed that not only were they severely inappropriate, but also indicated a lack of faith in democracy. He asked leaders across political spectrum not to subject high constitutional officers to partisan stances.
I request you took the floor and you have indicated in so many words that the chair is acting under the pressure. These are expunged. You are forfeiting your right to hold the floor. This can't be done. No, sorry. Nothing will go on record. Every time you make an allegation, chair is acting under pressure. How can that be countenanced?
As the opposition members trooped into the well on several occasions, Chairman Dhankhar made fervent appeals to the members to respect the constitutional ideals, values and obey the rules.
पूरा देश हमसे उम्मीद रखता है। देश हमसे उम्मीद रखता है कि राज्यसभा में डिबेट हो, डिस्कशन हो, डायलॉग हो, डेलिब्रेशन हो। संविधान निर्माताओं की आत्मा और संविधान की मूल भावना पर कुठाराघात करना हमारा आचरण नहीं हो सकता। आज के दिन क्या हम ऐसा आचरण बाहर देना चाहते हैं कि सदन में हम कुछ भी करेंगे पर सार्थक चर्चा नहीं करेंगे, सीमित व्यवहार नहीं करेंगे? I appeal to the members, permit me to take up the listed business.
The chairman cautioned members on numerous occasions that they would be named for disrupting the proceedings of the House, but refrained from taking any stern action.
जो मैंने आंखों से देखा है प्राइमरी मटेरियल के अंदर, आप स्तब्ध रह जाएंगे। I have taken the most lenient course. सुनिए सुनिए, जो कुछ देखा है, हाउस में वीडियो पहले भी बना है, जो कुछ देखा है मुझे मजबूर मत कीजिए।
It was on the grounds of parliamentary misconduct that Congress MP Rashni Ashok Rao Patil was suspended from the Rajya Sabha for the remainder of the budget session. The suspension came after the Congress MP tweeted a video from inside the House of Opposition MPs protesting against Prime Minister Narendra Modi's response to the motion of thanks on Thursday. Rajya Sabha chairman took a serious view on the matter and called it an unwholesome activity on her part.
That incident has happened yesterday, where it is been found that on social media we are seeing videos recorded in this august house in a very, very unfortunate manner, showing senior members of parliament in very poor light, unauthorizedly being recorded. Clearly it shows that it has been recorded in the precincts of this august house, and it has been demonstrated and distributed through social media. The Honorable MP had requested that you may kindly have the matter investigated and examined, and the Honorable member responsible for any such act, and this I would consider as a misconduct of the House. This I will consider as blatant and flagrant disregard for the rules of the House, and such actions only bring disrepute To the entire August House and to the entire members of this House and to your chair, sir, I would urge your good self to kindly name the member who was involved in this act and appropriate actions befitting the disregard for the directions of the chair, befitting the breaking of the rules of this House should be taken out in this case.
Taking note of this motion, taking note of sentiments of the House, the Honorable Member Rajni Patil Ashok Rao. Before I do that, taking note of very significant enlightening response and reference by the leader of the opposition, the entire matter will be probed by the Privileges Committee. And till we have the benefit of the recommendation of the Privileges Committee for consideration of this August House, going by the situation and what I've seen, I don't wish to be judgmental, none in the House can be at the moment. But a strong prima facie situation has emanated. Srimati Rajni Patil Ashok Rao is suspended for the remaining period of the current session.
The upper house also took up the discussion on the general budget. While the House saw repeated disruptions, historic scenes became the hallmark of the first part of the 259th session. Legendary athlete and MP PT Usha chaired the session for the first time, as she was included in the panel of Vice Chairman of the House last year.
I never thought that when I become the upper house and I will be one day I will also be chairing. It's all because of our chairman. So I told you, when he nominated my name, but I was wondering and why he has done it. He said that you are most deserving women for this chair. So he has given me confidence also, and my big thanks to chairman also.
Legendary poet Mirza Ghalib's immortal couplets also found residence in the upper house.
मेरे को भी माननीय खड़गे जी से प्रेरणा मिल गई और मेरे में भी कुछ शायर जाग गया। उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी, आईना साफ करता रहा।
The serious discussion on the motion of thanks on President's address in Rajya Sabha also witnessed light-hearted moments.
And those, no one is a backbencher here. Salutations to all. Then namaskar.
The upper house expressed solidarity with earthquake-hit Turkey and Syria. Chairman Dhankhar said, acting promptly, India had sent much-needed assistance, including NDRF search and rescue teams, specially trained dogs, medical supplies, and other equipment to assist the authorities in those countries.
At this hour of pain and grief, we extend our solidarity with the governments and people of Turkey and Syria and family members of the victims affected by the catastrophe.
The session that began on January 31st was adjourned till March 13th. Post-recess, the two houses will reassemble on March 13th, and the session is likely to continue till April 6th. During the recess, the 24 department-related parliamentary standing committees will look into the allocations of various central ministries and departments and share their recommendations and observations with Parliament during the second half.
The House stands adjourned to meet on Monday, 13th of March 2023 at 1100 hours.
Let me now end the report with a quote of the chairman. For the members, exemplify constitutional essence worthy of emulation, unquote. With that thought-provoking statement, let's pull down the curtains on the first half of the 259th session of the Upper House. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye for now from my side.